Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elma. We're going to be going through my Gameweek 37 team selection. But before we get into that, once again, I do apologize for any background noise that is going to be picked up. I lost my headset, so I'm just doing this the OG style of just using the speaker and hoping it comes out successfully. So, yeah. And also, still aiming to get another subscribers before the end of the season. I think with only 2 game weeks to go, I'll just hit 750 subscribers. So in 6 more subscribers. So if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you hit that bell, don't miss any content going up on the channel. And also, taking any much time, let's get straight into it. So first, I'm going to start off with my game with 36 team review. Managed to score 64 points, overall points 22,157, and a small green arrow from 23,000 to 22,000. So we had Martinez in goal for 8 points, back-to-back clean sheets for him, and some bonus points in there. Munoz with an assist, and I think with a clean sheet as well for 11 points. Saliba blanking for 1 point for the Arsenal. Then Vardy with another clean sheet performance, 6 points. Then you had Shada, who was a bit of a differential for 11 points. And the reason I brought in Shada is because I wanted Haaland so that I can use my triple captain. And as you can all see, that did not go as planned, as Haaland did blank against Southampton for only 6 points for my triple captain. He was disappointed in that, but it is what it is, the end of the season, so I don't think it's going to affect my rank any much. But I was expecting for a huge boost into maybe somewhere around near the top 10,000, as Haaland was somewhat of a differential. But hey, it is what it is. Then you had Mbuemo for 6 points, same as Rogers, same as Sa, all scoring 6 points. Isaac and Mateta blanking for 2 and 1 respectively. Then on the bench, you had Raya with 2, Savio 1, who did not start, Konza under clean sheet. On my bench, punishing me once again, and Sessegnon with a 1 pointer on the bench as well. So overall, very good game week with the green arrow. This was taking a -4, but disappointed that Haaland could not do much more against a weak Southampton team. But so we move on to game week 37. So now let's look at what game week 37 has in store for us. So before we get into the game week 37 team selection, look at some transfers I'm considering, and it's going to be Mateta to Jamie Vardy. I just think Jamie Vardy, it's a no-brainer. He's going to score against Ipswich. I think he's maybe going to score a hat-trick or something like that. But in FPL, you can never be too optimistic. And just with 2 game weeks to go, I'm not pushing for any rank. I think I'm comfortable where I am, where the goal was top 50k, and I think I'm comfortably in there. But you never know, anything might happen, and I might drop out of that. So I'm willing to take a risk here, one or two risks, and that's this one of the risks I'm going to be taking. Matatu Jamie Vardy against Ipswich, his final home game for Leicester. It's going to be a little bit of nostalgia in that, in this transfer especially. So yeah, I hope he's going to plan out well, and hope he's going to be able to score that hat trick against Ipswich. Maybe they'll give him the Steven Gerrard treatment and let him score a penalty or something like that, just to give us some points. So this is one transfer. This is one and only transfer I'm thinking about for game 37. So this transfer in mind, let's look at game 37 team selection. For game 37, we're going to start off with the defenders and the goalkeeping department. We'll be having Emi Martinez in goal against Spurs. I think Spurs are going to rotate heavily since they do play in the Europa, I think next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. So maybe Spurs might rotate here and there. And Aston Villa will be giving a lot of clean sheets. Martinez will be getting a lot of save points. And they're still fighting for top 5. So I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Aston Villa, maybe a 1-0 or 2-0, something like that. Such a clean sheet will be very much appreciated. Then we're going to have Munoz against Wolves. I'm not so sure whether Crystal Palace are going to rotate or not, or they're going to have tired legs or not. I'm not so sure when they're going to be playing the Wolves match. I'm not yet sure. I think it's going to be after the Wolves game. I can't quite remember, because since they do play in the FA Cup final. So I hope Munoz is going to start, and hope he's going to be able to perform against a weak Wolves team. Then you have Gvardiol against Bournemouth. Tough fixture there. So just expecting a clean sheet, maybe a 0-0. very much appreciated. Maybe a cheeky Guardiola goal. It's been a while since we saw a Guardiola goal, so I hope against Bournemouth is going to be able to pull up something special. Then we have Konza, who's finally going to be in the team, back-to-back clean sheets on the bench, and I'm going to trust him to be in the starting 11 for Game 37, and hope he's going to be able to perform. And also a very a cheeky goal from a corner will be very much appreciated, will be very much welcome. So that's the defense and the goalkeeping department. Now let's look at the midfield. So this is how the midfield is going to be looking like. Going to be having Shad in there. Was it Shada? I can't quite tell. I'm going to say Shada in there against Fulham. Fulham do look very weak defensively, and Brentford are still pushing for top 8. They're still pushing for Europa and Conference League positions. Since now it's a top 5, they do have those small chances. I think they did win their previous fixture. They won 1-0 the Shada goal. So I'm hoping that he can be able to continue his hot form in front of goal and able to outscore the likes of Wissa, since Wissa is not in my team at the moment. So I was going to be able to do that and achieve that against leaky Fulham defense. Then we have Sar against Wolves, just the same as Munoz. Not so sure which lineup is going to be put out there to play. So, but I hope he's going to be able to start. So far, the Eze owners are whooping the Sar owners. So that point swing has become very massive, especially since Eze he managed to score a brace against Spurs. So I hope that Sar can be able to do him one better and score hat-trick against Wolves. Then we have Mbuemo against Fulham. Well, he did get, I think, got another assist. He's been getting those assists, but now we need some goals in there, and not from penalty goals. And I hope that against Fulham, can be able to exploit that weak defense and able to come out some points. Then finishing off the midfield, going to be having Rodgers, because I just think that Spurs are going to be heavily rotated as they prepare for the Europa League final. So I hope that Rodgers can be able to pick up some form. He's gone out of form a little bit, so I hope can be able to get that confidence back for the last few games and help Aston Villa as they push for that top 5 finish. So that's the midfield. Looks full of goals and assists. So now let's look at the forward line. So this is how the forward line is going to be looking like. Going to be having Haaland in there against Bournemouth, and I hope that he's going to be able to perform. He's going to come out with some good points, especially after that poor showing against Southampton. I don't know if they're in a similar boat as the Crystal Palace, whether Pep will rotate or not. I'm not so sure we're going to get early fixtures, since the early fixture is on Friday, so we're going to get the early team news. So just going to be a risk, and hope we're going to be able to start and able to give us a better performance as compared to Game 36. Then we have Isaac against Arsenal. Arsenal, I think they're already guaranteed to be second place. They're going to be a little bit complacent, but they did manage to come back from from being 2-0 down against Liverpool to will take it 2-2. So I'm sure they're still playing for something, maybe finishing second, because it's not yet guaranteed, but I think they're going to make it to the Champions League, as opposed to Newcastle and Isaac. They still have to win to be able to get that top 5 finish. They did take a bump in the road when they drew last week, and thanks to they did draw last week. So yeah, hope that for against Arsenal they can be able to perform. They've already played Arsenal a lot of times this season, and they have won all times, so it's going to be a fourth time or whatever time it is. Then you have Vardy finishing off the team against Ipswich. This is someone I'm considering captaining against Ipswich. Just going for a little bit of a differential in captaincy, and hoping that it's going to be able to pay off massively. Then we have Raya, Savio, Saliba, and Sessegnon all on the bench for Game 37. So as you can see from my team, I do not own Salah, since I did transfer him out for Haaland. But as I've seen the pictures of Haaland and of Salah and Liverpool players out in Ibiza and Dubai, it fills me up with confidence that Salah is going to continue blanking. But as an African, I hope that he can be able to break the record as well. So not a bit conflicting there, and I hope it's not going to punish me a lot. So that's the team for Game 37. Let me know down in the comments how your teams are looking like. And if you have any questions, make sure you go check out my socials. Links are all down in the description. And with that, if you managed to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.